So a little bit of a new adventure before things change completely, which will come up in the channel soon. But just bought a new kayak because the Intex Challenger, I think it was called, got a puncture yesterday when I went, I went rowing, and my sister now has a stand-up paddleboard. Had a go on that, and that was fun. But yeah, discovered we had a puncture at La Reserve, well, Miller and Carter Lake in Sutton Park. Now today I've purchased a Bluefin Scout for £150. They're about £400 brand new. The bonus is it does come in a backpack that you can wear, just like a lot of stand-up paddle boards, so I'm chuffed with that. It's a nice looking pair of paddles, Aussies as well, so happy with that. So straight away, I've literally just bought it over in Acox Green, and on my way back home, I've stopped off at Port Loop on Monument Road, basically, but Rotten Park Lane, which if you go back in the channel, you'll see this before when all these new houses were being built, which you could just about see out the window. But yeah, there's a decent launch point just there, which gets us into the canal, which can get us onto Port Loop, which can get us into Soho Loop, which can get us onto the main drag, into town and Brindley Place and Gas Street Basin and all that. So in the van, let's get the wetsuit on and go from there. Just walking up to the launch point now. We're in backpack mode, which I think is a good call. It is quite heavy though. I'm not sure, like, 18 to 20 kilos, I reckon. But I'll check the information and specifications on the boat when I get in the water, to be honest. The backpack, Bluefin Scout, launch point, beautiful. Hope it doesn't drop off too early because I'd like to walk it in. We'll find out. A hell of a lot fancier than the last one. You can put the seat anywhere you want. You can buy a second seat and clip it to this and have two up, but I think it's a bit tight for that. Waterproof pocket here for your stuff, which is pretty useful. Inflatable bottom, 3 parts of inflation. You inflate the bottom of the seat. Everything collapses down a bit more than the last one, which is good and bad, I guess. But apart from that, wonderful. To get the water out later. Carry handles are pretty sweet. Oh, we're going to go for it. We'll follow that boat. Revelation, it's much, much bigger than the last one. I think it's 11 foot. We're in. It was an easy in because of the handy little handles here. I don't know if it feels more stable than the Intex, just because it is a bit more nimble and everything's a lot tougher. And I'd say more professional, but we'll find out. But yeah, still no worries pumping up and getting in there. There's a big old bloody Doberman dog living on the canal, which is interesting. But apart from that, time to have a look around town. Into the Soho Loop, which I don't think I've uploaded yet, but it will be uploaded by the time this is uploaded, which is on the opposite side of the main canal from the Port Loop, Icknield Loop, whatever you want to call it, home of the old city hospital, this island, effectively. But yeah, getting used to the boat, it's nice, it is nice. I'm going to give it, today it's a completely different feeling to the Intex. It's a little bit rockier, but quicker, which I think is the trade-off. Basically, the more stable you are, the slower you're going to go, which I'm slowly learning. But very fancy paddles, these seem to do the job much better. And yeah, we're a little bit warm, to be honest. I'm glad it's not that sunny, because I've tackled the Soho Loop probably about a third around now, and your boy's sweating. God damn. The heaven cam. Soho Loop. Is he off? Not trying to get you, mate. Ugh. It's a hell of a lot further than you think, but I think I've come to the end of the loop. There's the main drag, back that way towards Icknield Loop. Birmingham Wolverhampton, it's the main drag. It was widened years and years and years ago to create more space for industry, and apparently when that happened, boating became a pleasant experience. Before that, people were arseholes to each other, so that's good. Right turn off the main drag into Icknield Loop this time, which is where this new housing village is going to be built. The first 2 phases I think are done, and all this is to be done next. It's a much smaller loop than the Soho one. I am pretty knackered from that, to be honest, but Icknield's smaller and it takes you through a nice kind of boat repair yard, so we're going to go and have a look at that. All right, you might have a bit of an angle. I don't know what you're looking at. You're in my jacket. So here we go, the Icknield Loop. is some of the old industry that will be going very soon as part of these new builds. I imagine all of this is going to get taken out. I will say that today the geese have been very well behaved, which is much appreciated. I've only really passed about 4, but they gave me no bother, which is bloody good, because I'm terrified of them still. That's just the way it is. Also got a rather welcome spitty bit of rain now, which I'm quite chuffed about, because I got a little bit roasting. It is 21 degrees, I think. It's nearing the end of July. Pardon me. But yeah, I hope you can see some of this. I'm not too sure. I'm kind of still to choose the best leg position. This doesn't feel... what's better for my hips? I don't know if the seating position I've got wrong, but my back isn't having the best time. It's not killing. And I've been in here for about an hour and 10 minutes, which is long enough to be sitting anywhere, let alone in a boat. But yeah, definitely got used to it. It doesn't track as good as the Intex, as far as I can tell. I think it is a little bit quicker though. But it is a lot of swishing from side to side until you get your speed up. But once you got your speed up, you're pretty knackered. And if you're me, you're taking breaks pretty soon. And then you're slowing down and ruining it all. Oh, the rain's picking up. We've got bugs now. Great. Don't know if the camera's going to be picking them up. Icknield Port Road above us on that bridge. And now we're heading to this bizarre boaty repair yard canal trust thing. And there's this little inlet for a waterway fed by the reservoir up there. So that's Edgbaston Reservoir up on that hill, if you can see. Once the light kind of matches up, there you go. So that's where the reservoir is, that's where the water feeds in. So yeah, this is Icknield Port Yard, which should show us some interesting things. I don't know if rain brings birds to the water or sends them away, but I'm hoping for the latter. But to be honest, once we're around this loop, we'll be back at where I got in, and that'll do for today, because the rain is picking up now. And my arms are done, mate. So it's time to go home, cook some danky food, and crack a can, I reckon. Here we go, the Aquarius 2. All these kind of repair boats, I guess. I'm really sorry if you can't see much, but I'm hoping for the best here. You probably can't hear much either, but I will learn as I go. That wasn't sank last time, I don't think. There we go. Haven't been down here for 2 years. 2022 was the year of the kayak for me. Last year I got a couple done, but actually in the last 2 weeks I've managed 4 trips, which is good going for me, to be honest. Hopefully more to come. Oh, that rain is nice though. Bloody hell. Well, let's get out of the bush. Bit of old building for you here. Cannot tell you what these factories were. There's some big gas tanks up there, or fuel, who knows, propane. These old boys have little windows out onto the canal, old loading bays and whatnot. Look at that. Feast your eyes, guys, because it's not going to last. I don't know if they're going to adapt this into new living quarters, or if the whole thing's going to go. But we can be sure that change is upon us, which obviously isn't a bad thing, because this is clearly abandoned and has been for the best part of 30-40 years at the very least. But now you should see the big change into where we're heading and where we're at now, actually, as far as this part of the port loop goes. It is advertised as the only Birmingham Island community, because this technically is an island that's cut off on all sides by canals. The Birmingham Wolverhampton and the loop itself, and same on the Soho loop side. There's 2 islands there, essentially cut off from the city centre by these man-made waterways in the 1800s. So here we go, the advertising boat for Port Loop. Just there, been on that last week, I think. Had a walk around here a couple of weeks ago. And here's all the new builds. And if you go back in the channel, I should have uploaded it now, but we did discover that these are tickling the 400,000 to £500,000 mark for 3-bed apartments, basically. No, it's not an apartment, it's the whole thing. Maybe a duplex, you call it. And from here, we pull up to the launch point, which everyone should be aware of, because currently the building site at the other end of Rotten Park Road or Lane is completely free to park on because there's nothing there. So you can just park up there, walk your bag or boat down to here, the best part of 30 yards, and get in. Oh God, it is tipping it down. There you go. I'm going to pull in, pack down, and love you and leave you. But thank you for joining me. I've been a Brummy Wonders. It's been a wet one, a hot one, a long one, and I'll see you on the next one with some pretty big news, actually. All the best. Look after yourselves. Brummy Wonders about to show you the exit, and that's it from me. So ta-ta. Bye. We'll check the video timings, but that's packed down and in the bag, and I believe correctly done as well. So yeah, I'll video check this and put the time here for how long it took to get out and get gone.